Hi, everyone. Good morning, and thank you so much for joining us for this amazing session hosted by the Canada Intellectual Property Office on trademarks and incorporations. My name is Abimbola Akinoye, and I am the founder of Leading Ladies Connect, a community created to bring women together to opportunities and also elevate the voices of women and basically provide resources that help women in their business, in their professional lives as well. Today, we have the opportunity to host a session on trademark and incorporations, as we know how that is important to businesses and intellectual property. I wanted to say a very big thank you to the Innovation, Science, Economic Development Department of the Canadian Intellectual Property Office for hosting this session. This session is in four parts, I believe, and we are in part two right now. We are going to be hosting two more sessions, and we hope that you're able to join us as well. So without taking too much of our time, I'm going to pass it over to Caroline, who is our major point of contact at the intellectual office and one of our facilitators for the day, to take it away and introduce herself and also what we're going to be learning today. So thank you so much. Sorry, before you take over, Caroline, I also wanted to say some housekeeping rules. If we have questions, if you have anything that has been spoken about during the session that you wanted maybe more clarity on, please use the chat box to ask your questions. At intervals during the session as well, we would have Q&A where our facilitators will be able to answer your questions and point us in the right direction. So thank you so much again. And yeah, over to you, Caroline.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you, Bimbola. It's always a pleasure to present to the group. As you've mentioned, I represent the Canadian Intellectual Property Office, and I'm joined by my colleague Nadège, who's representing Incorporations Canada.
Pleasure to be here with everyone today.
Yes, absolutely. And we'll make it fun. Absolutely. And the purpose of this, exactly. And the purpose of the presentation is for entrepreneurs, business people to understand the difference between trademarks and incorporations, the specific value of each of them, and how to protect either your business name or the trademark. So what we'll do is we'll start with a brief introduction on what is CIPO, what is Corporations Canada. We belong to the same department, ISED, but we are two different entities within the department. And then, we'll deep dive into trademarks and incorporation. We'll discuss like what you should consider when you're planning to apply either for incorporation or for trademarks. They go together. They protect the different aspects of your company, and you'll see which one does what. They definitely have a value, and we'll provide you resources. And as Bimbola mentioned, please don't hesitate to use the chat. We will answer your questions as we go, so that ensures we answer all the questions and we make sure that what we are sharing is understood. So we'll start with CIPO's mandate, the Canadian Intellectual Property Office. Our mandate is to grant IP in Canada. So we receive applications from Canada and abroad on trademarks, patents, industrial designs, and copyrights. Today, we'll focus strictly on trademarks, but we also have different presentations and resources for you to better learn about the other IP rights. But I am part of a team where I'm not an examiner. I don't have a legal background, but I'm part of a team that does IP awareness and education. So we talk to people on an individual basis during meetings, confidential meetings, or we do presentations like this one. We attend conferences, trade shows, any occasion that gives us a chance to reach out to either partner organizations or business people, innovators, artists. Anyone that creates a project or develop a service might be better off protecting by IP. So we're there to teach them what are different IP rights, how they apply, and how to protect. And then we have Corporations. Whoa, Corporations Canada. Whoa, it's flying. Okay. There you go. Sorry. Whoops.
Good stuff. Awesome. Thank you for that great start, Caroline. I'll now continue with the side of Corporations Canada. And my name is Nadège Senanse, and I'm an Information Service Officer at Corporations Canada, part of Innovation Science and Economic Development. And who we are and what we do, well, as part of Innovation, Science and Economic Development Canada, well, we help Canadians incorporate businesses and entrepreneurs like you guys and also not-for-profit organizations. And basically what we do is that we maintain and administer the corporate law framework and deliver timely and innovative client-oriented services. Basically, what we do in essence is we help Canadians incorporate businesses like yourselves, not-for-profit, and other corporate entities while staying compliant with the law, the corporate law. And what is our mission? Many of you might wonder today. We're basically mostly contribute to a positive business climate in Canada by maintaining and administering a modern corporate law framework while delivering timely, innovative, client-oriented products and services.
Such as this presentation today.
Yes, yeah.
All right. Oh, okay.
Yes. Now to get further into details in terms of what we really do and what we really like govern, basically Corporations Canada oversee the creation and compliance of federal corporations under the following acts. The most popular one is the Canada Business Corporation Act, the CBCA Act. And basically this act governs the incorporation, operation, and dissolution of businesses, corporations in Canada. And it provides the rules for business to operate legally and effectively. The second most popular one that we usually see a lot is the Canada Not-for-Profit Corporation Act, the NFP Act. And basically that act usually regulates federally incorporated not-for-profit organization, offering them a clear framework for their operations. Another one that we really also have is the Canada Cooperative Act, which is the Co-op Act. And basically that one applies to cooperatives under federal jurisdiction, providing them with a legal framework to operate as distinct entities. The last one, which is not as popular, but we also have it, is the Boards of Trade Act, which is the BORDA Act. And that one governs the incorporation of boards of trade, ensuring their compliance and structured operations. Yeah, so basically these acts establish a clear and consistent legal framework to help businesses and organizations operate effectively while meeting the legal obligation. Yes, that's a bit about us.
Wonderful. So that was the legal side.
That's the legal side.
Yes, we'll get into more practical information. Don't worry.
It's fun.
Exactly. Totally. Absolutely. And by the way, the reason we decided to co-present, we've been doing that for a few years, was as part of my role as an IP advisor, I meet with a lot of people, lots of companies that were all said, oh, I don't need a trademark, I'm incorporated. So we thought we're going to decipher both and we're going to like demystify what's incorporation, what's a trademark. So, and that's why by being joined by my colleagues at Corporations Canada, you get the best of the best on both sides of the protection. So very quickly, as I said, we're going to deep dive into trademarks, but patents will protect any invention, functionality, new technology that you're developing. It's a national protection and it's valid for 20 years from the date of filing. Very technical, but if you need information at the end of the presentation, you'll have a link directing you to a form so you can meet with an IP advisor in my team. Copyright will protect any original work, a website content, a source code, photography, sculpture, fiction book, etc., etc., etc. Dramatic, artistic, literary work. Industrial designs protect anything that's visual aspect, nothing to do about functionality, but strictly what does it look like. For example, the way that my Yeti bottle is shaped could be an industrial design. And then trade secrets will protect, actually, trade secrets are not protected. They are for you to keep safe and secret. So it could be a recipe, could be a client list, could be a specific know-how, etc. But you don't protect it. You decide to keep it secret within your own company. Why IP is important for many, many reasons. First, knowing about IP, knowing about intellectual property, like your own, the one that you own within your own company, or knowing about your competitors will avoid making costly mistakes. What does that mean? Let's say you're developing you want to open a new restaurant and it's super trendy, it's great, and you have this name, a great logo, and you don't do your research. Well, sadly, maybe that name is already in use. So to technology, you're inventing a new application, a new app for phones. Well, if you don't do your research, maybe that exists already. So instead of launching something on the market, which you're infringing on somebody else's IP, then you're at risk of facing litigation. Well, if you do your research, if you consult the right people prior to launching the product or service, then you know that you're safe and that you have the liberty, you have the freedom to operate within a specific country. So then you're not spending a lot of money for nothing. And by developing a new product, a new service, you make sure that you're different, you're more innovative, you're better than your competitors. That's putting you at the edge of your competitors. Example I like to use is if you love ski, let's say you're a ski lover, you used to do competition, and now you're launching a new technology, a new feature with this downhill ski boots. Well, in order to launch it, you want to make sure first there's a market for it. Yes, absolutely. But you want to make sure that it's better than what exists, that it's innovative, that it warms more, the shape is more comfortable, etc. Whatever the feature is, it's what puts you at the edge of your competitors. And that's what you want to protect. Do you protect the visual aspect? Is it a new technology? And then to sell it, to market it, you need a super cool branding. You need a name, you need a logo, you need a slogan, etc. And IP will definitely help you obtain financing. More and more, federal, provincial, and other investors, when you're seeking for money to either scale your company or to develop a new project, to launch something on the market, they will ask for an IP strategy. And what's an IP strategy? It could be very complex, but it could be very simple. An IP strategy is what you need to protect, where, and when. So once you've established that you need to protect your logo, you need to protect a new functionality on your boot, you need to protect the visual aspect of the top of the boot, let's say, then that's part of the IP strategy. Investors, federal funding, provincial funding will say they are serious in their strategy. So yes, they'll be more inclined to invest in your company. So IP will also help you to achieve your strategic goals, your business goals, sorry. Okay, you developed that ski boots. It's wonderful. The branding is amazing. You've done your focus groups and you know it's going to be a success. Well, your strategy will not be to file and to sell that boots in all the countries in the world. Many countries don't have enough skiers to justify the cost and the efforts. So strategically, you'll say my business goal is to be the leader in the ski boots within 3 years, in Northern Europe and Northern America. That's it, period. So you will secure these markets because IP is territorial. You will secure those markets because you know that there's sufficient number of clients, organizations, distributors, manufacturers to help you be successful on those markets. And IP will help you in the sense that you will grant licenses to use, to sell, to manufacture all the new ski boots. And within 5 years, bang, you're the leader, you're the worldwide leader on that specific ski boot. So as you see, you develop something new that met criteria, that met people's expectation, you got the money, you secure your markets, and now it's a success. So over the time, people will say, oh my God, that ski boot is the best. Yep, there's a question. I'll just finish that point and then I'll go to the question. So over the years, over time, people will recognize the value, the benefit of using your boot. So the company's value will increase, and also your client base. So that's super important when it comes to intellectual property. Perfect. So there's no question. Excellent. So, and then we'll move to the next slide. Whoops. So just a couple of examples of trademarks. These are large Canadian corporations, but there's many examples of smaller corporations using a logo, a name. But this is all to say, you see them, even the roots. Even if you remove the word roots, you know what it is. Same with Canada Goose, same with Air Canada. So, we recognize these brands, they're Canadian and they have a value. Part of the company's valuation is the value of their trademark or the portfolio, IP portfolio, as we say. So what's a trademark? A trademark is a sign that will recognize your product over the others. Good example I like to use is you're the pharmacy, and I'll use my colleague here as an example. You have a headache, I use Motrin. Motrin is like, okay, within 20 minutes, I'll feel much better. Nadège will say, oh, I prefer Tylenol because Tylenol for me is better. And then Monica will say, you know what, I go generic. Much cheaper, same thing, same effect, but I go generic. there's no right or wrong answers in our preference. What it is, it's exactly a preference. I'll go for the Motrin. You could try to sell me the generic. I don't care. I want my Motrin because the company has invested a lot and has attracted someone like me who said, I want Motrin. I don't want anything else. The same thing goes for Apple versus Samsung, Toyota, Honda, Levi's jeans against another brand. So people love a brand and will stick to it unless there's a damage made to the reputation. So branding is super important. It's what makes people purchase and come back to your product and service. And having a registered trademark provides you with an exclusivity. Trademarks are territorial. So your trademark is protecting you all across Canada. If you need to protect in different countries, you need to establish those countries and obtain protection. In Canada, it differs a bit from some countries, but in Canada, you don't have to register your trademark. You can operate under a name. You'll see TM. You're not protected, but there's still a common law recognition that you've been using that trademark, that name, but it's a local protection instead of we're based here in Ottawa. So let's say I use a brand. I haven't registered it, but my protection will be, let's say, the NCR, the National Capital Region. If my trademark's registered, then my protection is across Canada, but it's not only for the specific name, identical name or logo. It also protects you with anything that would be confusing to the eyes of the client. Let's say my company is ABCG, and I'm selling ski boots, going back to the ski boots, and Nadège has GBCA ski boots. Well, if I'm the one registered, I can oppose to Nadège using that trademark because it's confusing. It's the same sector of activities, the same sector of industry. So people could be confused by choosing which one they really want. So very important. That's a great value with a trademark is to make sure there's no confusion. And in Canada, the trademark is valid 10 years once it's registered, but you can renew it every 10 years as long as you're using it on a market. So if you see a circled R, it means registered. If you see TM, it's not registered. There's some tips about registering a trademark. What we call descriptive marks, we don't recommend them because they're weak and we find them hard to register. Example is if I open a food truck and I call it Carolyn's Food Truck, it's using my name and it's using very descriptive, so not recommended. It doesn't make a strong brand. Just want to make sure that I don't miss any questions. Okay, perfect. When it started to become interesting is when you have what we call suggestive marks. Chapters to sell books. Yes, Nadège says, yeah, but a book, there's chapters in the books. Yes, but you don't sell the chapters, you sell the book, you sell the cushions, you sell the blankets, anything associated with cocooning and reading. If you have a word that has no relation with what you're offering, roots selling clothing. Okay, you see the beaver, you see the tree, but it's not, they're not selling roots, they're selling clothing. Same with Apple and Indigo. When it becomes also very stronger power trademark is when you invent a new word. Kodak, Kleenex, Polaroid were all invented. They're now really reputable marks. Some people will say, a friend of mine has a company and they just mix the first syllable of each names and then it became a new word. So the risk of confusion and identical name is lower as much as you go, like when you invent a word, it's could be very strong and yet confusion is very much limited.
Oh, I see.
So how do you make sure it does not exist? You can search a trademark database, of course, search the web. Something else also that we did not mention today, but going back to industrial designs are visual aspects. And they last for a maximum of 15 years in Canada. If the shape becomes very well known on the markets, you can convert into a trademark. Best example is the Coca-Cola bottle. 1915, 17, it was developed, protected by industrial design, became so popular and recognizable that it's now a trademark since 1930 something. If you apply for trademark, super important, it's not because you apply that it's registered immediately. It's a process. It takes months, around 15 months, I think. And your application gets examined by an examiner, and then they become your main contact at CIPO. They might object, they might have questions, they might have questions like to make it more precise. Don't despair. It's normal. Very few trademarks application get accepted right away. And we'll see, but a trademark is not a business name. So we'll see later why. And it's your turn now. Yes.
Just to go back a little bit, how long does it take usually for your name? Should you get word if you don't have an answer in, let's say, 1 month, 2 months? How long?
Oh, it's around 15 months.
15 months.
Yeah, but you can still use your trademark as it's pending examination.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
Really
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
It's much quicker to register an incorporation.
Good to know. Then
Yeah.
we can now just talk about the advantage of why you can incorporate your business. But there's so many advantages that actually would actually motivate most of you today to really incorporate your business. And one of them being like to protect your personal assets, which would keep your personal and business finance separate. The other second advantage would be the access to funding opportunities. You have more option to business loans and investment. And the other one would also be tax advantages, which is something we always are all looking forward to. Benefits from corporate tax rates are really something really attractive to many business owners, and also deduction that comes with that. Another good benefit is also that it's a separate legal entity. So your business becomes its own legal person. Let's say if somebody is like you're doing business with someone, they sue the business, not yourself, which is really a good advantage. It's really attractive to many people. Another good thing is the business continuity that comes with incorporating your business. I want to say that your business lives on forever, but there's no such thing out there. But literally, that's what becomes your business, that your corporation can continue beyond the original owners. Yes, that would be some of the advantages. That's one other, yeah.
Okay. Actually, I will first, the person who asked for a link to the trademark database, I'll be sending the presentation to Abimbola, so she will share the presentation after, but definitely, yes, after this presentation, I can also share the link. And Nadesh, sorry, Nadesh mentioned something very important, same with trademarks. Sometimes I get a question like, should I apply like as an individual? Should I apply with my business? Same thing, it's a choice. And advantage is that if it's your business that owns the trademark, if sadly you go bankrupt, the business will not go bankrupt, and vice versa. So it really depends on the purpose of your objectives. Go.
A good point you raised right there, Caroline. And just to add to that, also when it comes to like incorporating, you can choose to incorporate provincially or federally. We always leave it up to you depending on your business needs. But if I was to talk at the federal level in terms of what it requires, well, you have the few options. You can either incorporate federally, and this protects your corporate name across Canada, but it also give you the right to operate in all provinces all over Canada and territories. And in terms of the province, you can also incorporate depending on what your business needs are. If you only, let's say, want to operate in Ontario, just like we are in Ottawa, you're like, you know what, I have a business. I only just want to do business in Ontario. I don't want to go to Quebec. You can just incorporate provincially. But that we would highly advise that you seek provincial guidance in terms of how you do that. But there's also that option that is there for you depending what your business needs are. And what really that brings to the table that you can also protect your name in the province that you're registered in, and you can also operate primarily in that one province, like we just said. Yes, but we really leave it up to you depending on your business needs.
Exactly. And nothing prevents if you incorporate provincially, let's say in a few years you are expanding more than you thought, so you can also register in federally and provincially.
That's a very good point that you raised. Like once you're ready to do that, we have different options, and that actually would allow you to come from the province and also get to the federal level. So there's different options out there too, depending where you are at with your business and how much your business is growing. There's always that option as well. So let's say you don't want to start big, you want to go, let's say, just to the province, just to learn the territory, to learn how good you're doing, and then later on you want to incorporate federally. There's option that allows you to come from the province to the federal.
Exactly. Yes. And as for trademarks, there's no option, it's federal only. So you can go provincial with trademarks.
Perfect. Fun stuff with things. Now, how do you do that?
Yes, absolutely.
Why federally incorporate? It's the best thing ever because I'm in it most of the time. But but what I would say, like basically, like the reasons why you want to really incorporate your business is that one of the things that you get with that is you get a corporate name that is protected. That corporate name, you can conduct business with it across all over Canada under that one name. And if you're not ready for that name, let's say you want to open a business, you don't know how to call that name, but you have this amazing idea, but you're not too sure if the name you want to use down the line, what you can do, you can always incorporate federally and choose a numbered incorporation, where we just provide you with a number of your corporation. And then later on down the line, you can always choose a name that you want to have for your corporation. It will be protected. Now, when it comes to the cost of that, well, let's say you have a name in mind and you're not too sure if that name could be used, or maybe your friend your neighbor has the same name or something, and you're not too sure, like, what if I use the same name and they might not accept it? What we usually do, you can always send us your name, and we can do a name pre-approval to see if that name can be used, and we can provide you with an approval or let you know this is where you could add to that name for that name to be approved. And that cost is $13.80. And when it comes to the online incorporation, the fee for it is $200. Not too expensive for how much you can make for your business, but and how much protection and also the advantage that comes with that. And also something to always be mindful of that people tend to forget often is the annual return that needs to happen when you incorporate your business. Usually what happens is that people open businesses and they tend to forget about Corporations Canada. I mean, I don't blame them, because we don't really advocate a lot or like say it loud enough that it's also very important that once you incorporate your business, that as you're filing for your taxes, it's also very important to do your annual return. For your annual return, you just have to do it in the month that you have incorporated, and you only do it once a year. And it's the month that you have actually incorporated your business, and we call it your anniversary month, and it costs $12. Yes, and when it comes to the flexibility of things, well, once your business is at a certain place, you can move it all over Canada if you're federally incorporated. It's just very important that you keep us updated. And when you're doing your annual return, it's also very important that you let us know if your address has changed. They will ask you these questions, so it's always very good to let us know and keep us updated of any change that is happening to your corporation. And when it also comes to global recognition, that's also a very good advantage that comes with being federally incorporated, is that you have that federal recognition around the world, which is an important consideration if you plan to expand outside of Canada. It's also an advantage that really comes with being federally incorporated. Yes.
Absolutely. I will say that Canada has a really good reputation around the world, but also building on what Nadège said, same thing with trademarks. Trademarks are renewed every 10 years. We will not run after you. If we send you a renewal letter and you don't answer, sadly, trademark could be expunged. It's yours. As the IP owner, it's yours to inform us of any change of address or any even ownership, because that could complicate things later. And especially if your brand is used and very recognized, the last thing you want is to be abandoned or expunged because you did not notify us of any change of address. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's a very good point. You actually say, that's also something that tends to happen oftentimes when people like will move and they will forget to update us, or they will speak to Revenue Canada, CRA, and they will think that also the system gets updated on our end.
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
Which
we're not there yet. We're not there yet.
We're trying to build that relationship with them.
We're halfway there.
But we're there, trying. Hopefully in the future.
Yes.
But right now, unfortunately, if you change your address, you always have to go through our website and also make your changes from there. It's called our online filing center. Probably get there soon. But anytime you make change, you want to make changes to your corporation, it's also very important to really notify Corporations Canada, and you can make the changes to our online filing center. And this also gets us to the best part of how you can actually incorporate the different steps that comes with that. It's a very, I want to say, user-friendly procedure, to be honest, once you know what you're doing, which you guys are going to get a chance to really hear all about today. But basically, one of the first steps that you're really asked to do, when you're doing the process of incorporating your business, you can do this on our online filing center. And once you begin the process, you have questions that are being asked to you. And those questions are really answering to these different steps. So it's really guiding you, helping you in your incorporation. And basically, step one is really to name your corporation if you have a name. But again, if you're not too sure, you have this great idea, but you're not too sure what name you want to call that business, there's also that option to really get a numbered name incorporation, and we basically will give you a number, and there will be a Canada Inc. added to that. And once you're ready with a name, there's an option that you can send us that request that you want your name changed or your number name changed to an actual name. We can always do that for you. The second step would be really the articles of incorporation that gets created. So as you're responding to these different questions that you will find through our online filing system, our online filing center, through that process that you will be doing of incorporating your business, you really are creating your articles of incorporation. Step three will really be to really let us know of the address of where your business is going to be. Now, a mistake, I want to say a mistake, but a confusion that tends to happen oftentimes is that people tend to confuse that the initial registered office address is also their address. But basically, when they're saying initial registered office address, they're talking about the address of your business. So that's the address that they're asking for. But if it matches, let's say, the director of that corporation, it can always be the same if you don't have another one. It's okay.
And it could be a postal box at the post office, or it has to be a street number.
Unfortunately, it has to be like the system will block you. The
Okay.
system will not allow you.
Gotcha.
They actually want you to have a physical address there.
Gotcha.
But yeah, unfortunately. And if there's any change of address as well, too, you can always notify us, especially because we're federal. You can always like let's say have different addresses all over Canada. And what happens with that, you can always do an amendment when you are changing provinces as well. You can't just go and change your registered office address on our online filing center. When you do that, you have to do an amendment for that because you're changing provinces. But that's also something that we help you with, guide you with as well. Yes. And also when you're doing step 3, you also have to indicate the directors of that corporation. Because any corporation will also require directors of that corporation. Another
we'll get to that question after Nadege has gone through the slide.
Yes, you got
It's a question for you.
It's a question. Awesome, perfect. I'll be more than happy to respond to it. Yes. Now, the other thing that you also now have to fill out is you have to really provide us with information on the visitors with significant control so that we can stay transparent and know exactly what's going on within your corporation. Yes. And step 5, which is really, I want to say the last part, you just submit and you pay the fee, the $200. And if there's anything missing or there's anything that we need you to maybe revise and resend your application, we will let you know at free of charge. And it will be called a resubmission. Because something that often happens is that sometimes people, like when they incorporate and maybe they've missed something, they feel like if they make any change, they're going to have to pay again. Or if they don't have answers to everything and they incorporate and there was something missing, they're scared to begin incorporating because they feel like they don't have all the information that they need to incorporate. Well, you can always begin if there's anything else like that we're missing that we need and require. We will let you know, and you just have to do a resubmission. Yeah.
I would like to add 2 things before we go to the question, if I may. First, when you go to the word name with a number name, comparing trademarks, okay? Keep in mind that the clients care about your trademark. If you're Canada 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's not what they see. What they see is A, B, C, D. Okay. So often I get a question, yeah, but should I incorporate with the same name as my trademark? Honestly, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. As long as all your documentation is clear and is explanatory with Corporations Canada, you're fine. And I have a question for you, Nadege. What do you call individuals with significant control? Is it like the CEO, the CTO, and whoever has decision power within the company?
Yeah, now that it's really internal to the directors of the corporation, in terms of like how the shares are really like distributed all throughout the corporation. It's really to know who is holding power in the corporation.
Excellent. Thank you so much. So the question is, what do you need to do if you have a provincial registered sole proprietorship and want to federally register an incorporation with the same name?
That's a very good question. So what I would say to that, what you want to do is that you want to send us your request to us. And usually what we do say that you add to that, because you already have that provincial registered sole proprietorship, we will be able to tell that it is there. What we usually ask is also a consent letter be added to that. Because the name, we're kind of going to see it. And also I know my colleagues can add to that too in the chat in terms of what could be done. But usually what we recommend is also add a consent letter to that. And there's also templates on our online filing center or on our website where you can find different templates that you can use so that when you're submitting a request to incorporate, you also mention that there could be a potential possibility that that name could be identified with another sole proprietorship. But we are already, then you're kind of notifying us that you are aware of that, but you are giving consent that that name could also be used again for your incorporation at the federal level. But usually what happens with that, there's an examiner who's really going to look at your request, let you know what's missing. And if that could also be used, they will also let you know. But really what happens after you send us your request, an examiner really takes their time, looks at it and lets you know how to proceed. And if there's anything missing, they will let you know and what is also required in order for you to continue federally.
We have another question, very interesting, and I can probably use it an example so you can answer the question. So the question is, please, can you clarify the people with significant control again? Is it directors or shareholders? I have a very small business that I run from home. It's not even trademark protected.
Yeah.
I should do that. So let's say I wanted to incorporate federally, and it's my own business. I'm the only owner. There's no one else. So am I the only person with significant control?
Yeah.
And if I were to hire, let's say, an accountant, would that person be significant control or not at all?
They wouldn't be.
So it would be anyone with a significant role within the company.
Yeah, they will part. So
Okay.
shareholder could be.
Shareholders,
Shareholder
okay.
could be, yeah.
Okay.
You give them shares to your corporation.
Okay.
Yes, yeah.
And you have to inform Corporations Canada that these are my shareholders.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's actually very user-friendly. It's like they actually give you a percentage.
Oh.
They kind of help you guide
Okay.
you as you answer to these questions. So you don't do it alone. There's actually questions that you're being asked. You just have
Wonderful.
to check mark which one applies to your corporation.
Okay, excellent.
And if it changes, there's also the option that you can actually update that
Okay,
information.
fairly
Just
easy.
in case, just in case down the line you have like it changes. Yeah, and you can always give us a call as well too.
Okay.
Yeah, if you have any further questions or require any more assistance, we can always guide you.
If I could add another example, I used to sit on a board. We created an association, non-for-profit, and people of control were, the director, secretary, and then financial, and then you have to put all the members as other people. Yeah.
Right. I see.
Does that answer the question, Dr. Afenu?
So what I'm trying to understand is if you have a director that is not a shareholder, is the person significant control?
You have a director?
Yes, that is not a shareholder in the business. Can the person be termed as someone with significant control?
Now, that's a very good question that I would also highly recommend, like depending with the structure of the business that you are doing, we always also sometimes highly recommend like also getting sometimes professional help just to make sure, because to us, most of the time, the people with significant are directors, but if in your case, it's a little bit different and it's really being applied differently in a unique way for you, our other best advice would be to really seek professional help so that they can actually be able to confirm to you if you could be considered also as a significant control person in your corporation because you are the director of that corporation.
And as you say, it's pretty clear when they're filing their application.
Yes.
Because I didn't file my corporation. I got somebody help me with it, and so I don't even know where you find the shareholders. But along the line, I added a director to the corporation, but I didn't add the person as a shareholder. So I always got confused if the person is like someone with significant control or not, because I just added her after incorporation as a director to the company, but not as a shareholder. So I always got confused.
Oh, I see.
That's a good question.
A very, very good question. Yeah, I do agree. And I think, and oftentimes you can be very confused, and also for a lot of people. And that's why we always like highly recommend that you really seek professional help. And also on our application, when you're filling out information on an individual with significant control, the moment you read what's in there and none of it is applying to your specific situation, that's when we highly recommend that you seek professional help so that they can better guide you in terms of like the specificity of your corporation, what applies to you. Now, if things change, then you can always notify us and we can make the changes, or you can make the changes and we know those new changes that you would have added. But this is also something new that has been started being required when you're filing for your annual return. So that's why we still really highly recommend people to always seek professional help, just in case there's any also follow-up question that you might have that really applies to your situation like you just shared, so they can better guide you and give you the right answers. And if you always want to double check with us, you can always give us a call back as well. We'll provide you with a phone number, and then we can go into the details in terms of your situation specifically on what you need to fill out and how to do it. If after reading everything that I've listed under how to fill in the significant control and nothing applies to you or nothing is sounding close to what is happening to you and you seek professional help, you can always give us a call. I'll be more than happy to guide you through the process.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are you going to drop the phone number we can call if we want?
It's
probably going to be me or one of my other
Yeah.
colleagues. We're really good, great and friendly, and we're more than happy to guide you through the whole steps. Yeah.
So we have another question, Nadej. I'm incorporated, my spouse is a director, no shareholder assigned. Is this or a threat? A risk, sorry. Is there a risk?
That's a good question, but I want to say it's
Mhm.
really up to
Mhm.
really to you guys. Really, like we really leave it up to the person really doing
Mhm.
the business needs of your business, to be honest. And usually that's why we also have like these forms that you have to fill out. You provide with the
Mhm.
information that we're asking, but we really leave it up to you, depending on your business needs and how you choose to really run your business. But I don't think there should be any risks.
No, but consult with whoever
professional
helped you.
help.
Yeah, exactly. An
Yeah,
accountant
an
or
accountant
a lawyer.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
really specify to them the really about your situation, what they can advise you, and if you have any follow-up question, they can also be able to understand it even better for you. You can
Mhm.
even go into more further details in terms of like your business and what is going on, and they can better guide you. And you can also always give us a call back too as well, just to also reconfirm from what you would have gotten from
Yes.
that accountant or lawyer. And we can always confirm to you if that is right information,
Mhm.
and if there's anything else we can also add to what they've told you.
Not the video. So the video will not be shared, but you will receive a copy of the presentation. That's for sure. And you will have both our coordinates to reach either CIPO or Corporations Canada. So there you go.
Now, this will be a quick summary of everything we just spoke about in terms of your incorporation package. Basically, like I was kind of like mentioning a little bit earlier, that when you are incorporating your business, you could start with knowing exactly how you want to name your corporation, or you can start without knowing exactly how you want to call that corporation. That is a basic incorporation, and that's when we will give you a number name. The number name really stands for like numbers that we would give you, because you're not too sure what name you want to use, or maybe you just want to use a numbered corporation you don't want to name. And the custom incorporation, that's when you're choosing a name, and that's the name you want your corporation to really be under, and you will be protected. Yes, and that's when you do like a name pre-approval prior, maybe, to make sure that that name could be used. But there's also a possibility that you can choose that name and incorporate right away. And basically what's going to happen, an examiner, after you submitted your request, they will look at it, review it, and they will let you know afterwards.
And I would say, to add to what Nadège just said, if you're planning to incorporate with a name, also make sure that you check the trademark database, so that I know your examiners will check the trademark database, but at least you have an idea if it's already in use in Canada. So then you're like one step ahead, and you can decide to change your trademark if you feel that it's already protected and in use in Canada.
Yes.
So that's what I've just mentioned. So CIPO has a database, trademark database. It tells you exactly the status of the trademark. United States have the same. Like, we realize that most of Canadian businesses do business abroad. So yes, US is a great, also, I'll backtrack. The US also contains a lot of trademarks on their database. And one that's really cool, I love it. It's a global brand database. It's managed by WIPO, the World IP Organization. And it's super cool, because if you have a name in mind, you can just put that name in the database, and then it tells you if and where it's protected around the world in the blink of an eye. So it's fascinating. So it's if you're planning to conduct business abroad eventually, it's a good database to check.
Very good.
Fees have changed a bit. I won't go into that, but if you file on your own, trademark, it starts at around $340. And I won't go too technical, but it includes what we call one class of product and service, which means class of product and services. Is it clothing? Is it a restaurant? Is it consulting services? It's financial services, etc. So that's a class. Any additional class that you're adding to your trademark will cost you $100. But there's an extreme good value in identifying all the classes. Going back to the confusion before, let's say my trademark is ABC and I'm selling hiking shoes. That's my specialization. So all I have to have is one class that applies to protect hiking shoes. But if eventually I want to have T-shirts and caps and other apparels, and also offer guided tours, well, then my list of class can expand. And it's very important, because if I don't identify these classes, someone could use that class with a very similar name, because I haven't protected it.
Right.
And to avoid confusion, it's always good to identify all the classes that you'll be using. You can do that on your own. I'd say trademark process is fairly easy, and there's always an examiner to help you.
Right.
You can also hire a trademark agent. Sometimes they're lawyers, sometimes they're not. And there's a registry of registered trademark agents in Canada. We can't recommend one over the other because that's conflict of interest,
Right.
but we guide you through the resources on how to select a trademark agent.
Oh, right.
Mhm.
And there's somebody you can call as well too. Like we do have Corporations Canada that can like speak to you about like how to do it or like extra help on the phone. Like,
Oh, yeah, we have a client service. Yes, yes. Sorry, I was like, what? Yes, we do have a client service center. So if you want to do it on your own, we'll help you navigate the system. We will not file for you. We will not write the application for you, but they
That'd be
can
nice.
help you. That would be really nice. Yeah. But my colleagues will guide you through the
Okay.
system. Absolutely.
Amazing.
Mhm.
Great.
So, maybe you just,
Yeah, so yeah, like kind of mentioning also as well too. We also have people there to help you as well.
yeah.
Walk you through the process. If you're stuck at any of the steps, they're there to help you, guide you. And this can be done through calling us or also going to our website. And basically our website, I always share an easy trick on how people can really find us.
Oh, yeah.
But basically, if you go on to Google and you type in Corporations Canada, look for that lady that is wearing an orange sweater. The moment you find that lady that is wearing an orange sweater,
It's
you're
the
on
right
the right
site.
website. Yes. And to make your life easier, what I always recommend to anybody calling or really that can't find the right information is that if you look in that picture where it says online filing center, there's a hyphen that says make changes to a corporation. That's basically where you can find most of our services. If it's changing your address, if it's incorporating, the moment you follow that link that's in that picture, you're able to find everything that you need. Also, another trick that I always highly recommend for anyone that is really trying to navigate our website is that, sorry, if you look to your right on the same picture that we all are looking at, where it says most requested, there's the last one that says services, fees, and processing times. If you click there, there's all the different services that you can find with Corporations Canada. It could be anything that you could think of that you can find answers to. If you use that tool of most requested, you'll find all the information that you need. There's always guides that can help you understand the process that you're about to do, even in more details. But if you really use our online filing center to your advantage and our website at Corporations Canada, following the steps of looking for the lady that is wearing an orange sweater, you should be okay. Yes, and you can always give us a call as well too. We will provide you with our phone number that you can always give us a call us on, and I'll be more than happy to respond if I'm the one that picks up the call. Or one of my other great colleagues. Yeah.
So you'll navigate the website with the client.
Yes, you can always let us know like where you're stuck at, and we can let you know, and this is where you need to go, this is what you need to do. That's usually what often happens, is that when people are stuck, they call us and they're like, oh, I'm stuck at this step, can you help me get there? And that's what we usually do. We guide you through the process. But mostly what we highly recommend is that if you go to our online filing center, you'll be able to find all of our services. That's also where you can do your annual return as well. That's also another question that tends to come a lot to us is how do I do my annual return? But if you go to our online filing center, there's an option that allows you to do your annual return as well. And if you're stuck at any of the steps, you can always give us a call. We'll be more than happy to guide you through the process. Good. Yes.
Excellent. That's very clear. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Fun stuff. Yes.
Yes.
Talking about our famous online filing center. Yes. So where you want to look for the lady that is wearing the orange sweater, and look into the picture. It says online filing center, make changes to the corporation. And that's basically where you can do most of of your changes that you want to do to your corporation. That's where you can find how to incorporate, file changes, like I just mentioned, your annual returns too, and much more that you want to do. Or let's say maybe you are changing provinces, because that you would have to do an amendment. That's where you would also find the option that allows you to do an amendment. Or you started with a name and you want to change that name to a different name. That's also, you would also find a service that allows you to change that name as well. Yes. And there's also guides sometimes too. If you navigate our website, also you have time, you can always navigate through our website.
Absolutely.
And read through some of the guides that explains you each step. There's also information there that I'm able to guide you so that you're not alone in doing this. And you can always call us as well after you read through things and there's still something you don't understand. You can always give us a call. You can also subscribe to also receive like annual reminders. Let's say you don't want to. Maybe you could forget that you have to file your annual returns. You can always get also reminders as well, or email notification for corporate status changes as well too. And like I also mentioned, there's guides and forms that can be found on our website. And all these tools are there to help you and guide you to really make this process easier for you. so that you can incorporate federally. Yeah.
Question. So the call center is open Monday to Friday.
Yes, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern time.
Eastern time.
Yes, yeah.
Wonderful. Yeah. And same with CIPO. We may close at 4:30. I'm not sure, but it's always Eastern time. Absolutely. Yes.
And here's our famous phone number. I'll start with the phone number so you can get a live person on the phone. But basically, our phone number is the 186 number 333-5556. And once you give us a call, you're given different options, but you're able to get a live agent who will actually walk through the process. Or if you have any other questions as well too after this presentation, you can always give us a call on that same phone number, and one of my colleagues will be more than happy to guide you and go into the details. Or if you don't have time to call, you can always send us an email as well too on ic.corporationscanada.ic@ised-isde.gc.ca. We'll also be able to respond to any inquiry from that email address as well too. And that's our main website where you can go as well to find all the information about incorporating the benefit, like everything that we've spoken of today. You can also find that information on our website in more details in your downtime.
Wonderful.
Yeah, so you can always give us a call.
Oh, you're really nice. Yes.
All right. Thank you, ladies, so much for the time. It's about 12, or do we still have more presentation to go over?
I have 2 slides only.
Okay. Thank you.
No, it won't be long. So following what Nadesh said about Corporations Canada, my colleagues of IP advisors, we don't provide legal advice. We will never tell a client, please, yes, this name is trademarkable or this invention is patentable. We won't draft applications for you, as I've mentioned. We won't recommend an IP professional. We will give you the resources though to help you sort of through your thinking process. Our services are free of charge. So today's presentation, or if I travel in a different region to provide sessions and organize IP activities, CIPO is covering all the expenses. No client, no partner has to pay. Pretty much because we don't provide legal advice, we guide you through the system by making you ready to file on your own or hire an IP agent. We save you time and money. We have a large group of partners, and Leading Ladies Connect is one of those examples. Yes. I personally currently I cover Atlantic, Prairies, and North, and I do French Ontario. So I'm really busy, but I'm always looking for an opportunity to talk to clients. By scanning the QR code, you get access to the form and will give you access to your regional IP advisor. And our clients come from everywhere. Could be small business, startup, pre-startup. We even have large corporations calling us. Anyone looking for information on IP is a potential client for us.
Amazing.
So that concludes the presentation.
Yeah,
I'll stop sharing. And we'll just check if there's any questions before we wrap it up. But
thank you so much, Caroline and Masti, for such an enlightening session. I hope it was very helpful for everyone. I'm just going to check here. Most of the questions I think we did answer, but I know we have questions from like registration where somebody had asked about trademarking for a fashion brand. The video of the presentation will be on our YouTube channel. And we'll share the link with everybody who registered as well. So it's easier to watch it again, go over the details if you missed anything. So yeah, that's it from us. Thank you so much for the session. Can you please use the QR code again?
It'll be the presentation I'll be sharing you. Yeah. It's easier like that. And if I can just give you last example between trademarks, trade name, and domain name. Think of Tim Hortons. If I tell Nadej, hey, let's go for coffee, let's go to Tim's. We know what it is. I won't say, well, let's go to Tim Horton Incorporated. We'll say, let's go to Tim's. And the timhorton.ca protects their website presence, and it gives you information on the corporation itself, or more like what's coming up. But you say Tim Hortons, Tim Horton Inc., and timhorton.ca. So that's a difference if it can help you.
Good example.
So I'll send you, and I'll send you the presentation for you to share with people, and we're there to answer questions. You can reach out to us after.
We're only a phone call away from
Exactly.
share with everyone today. But thank you for having us. It's been a pleasure.
All right. Thank you so very much. And thank you to everyone who stayed to the end. I hope you found this very helpful. A lot of people are very thankful for the session in the chat. Thank you for the session. I have to buy out now. Very insightful. Thank you. Thank you so much, ladies. I'm just reading some of the comments in the chat. Thanks for the presentation. Yes, the video will be shared, like I mentioned, on our YouTube. I could put the link to the YouTube channel there. So if you are, if you subscribe to the channel, once the video drops, then you're able to also get it firsthand. In the absence of any other questions, I guess it's safe to say thank you to everyone who joined us. And to find out more about Leading Ladies Connect and everything that we do, please check on our website, www.leadingladiesconnect.com. Have an awesome day. I've put the link to the YouTube on the chat, and then I hope to see you guys soon. Thank you, Edith. Thank you very much, Vivo, for the class. We appreciate it.
Have a great day.
Enjoy the rest of your day, ladies.
You.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Take care.